Hi friends, Alex cut. I need to fix that. I don't even know if that's how you're supposed to repair brick, but it's what I had laying around. So, how is the market these days? Well, it's staying pretty hot, but it is starting to cool down. I know I'm a little late releasing the market update this month, but that's because this hot market makes it a little bit harder to buy a house. You have to put in multiple offers, you have to compete, and it's keeping me and my home buyer clients very busy. The good news is that things are turning around with more listings hitting the market in the city of Seattle than we've seen since November. Let's look at this graph of supply versus demand. This is a whole year's worth of data from July 2020 to June 2021. And we're mostly paying attention to the gap between these two lines. This is active listings versus pending listings. This is what's on the market in the greater Seattle region. And the larger the gap here, the higher the pending listings are, the more competition buyers are going to be having. So you can see that this gap has been widening all the way since about winter of last year, and competition and prices have gone up since then. But things are starting to soften a little bit. We can see that listings are starting to come up, active or pending listings are starting to level off, and looking at some of the other data that we're going to in a minute, we can see that the market is starting to soften a little bit. I'm looking at a few houses for a client around town in the 800 to 950 range, and I thought this would be a good example of what's happening around here. The median home price in the Seattle area has gone down for the first time in a number of months, so it's just one more statistic that shows that the market is starting to cool. Anyways, let's have a look around this house. The inside is beautiful. There's this really nice original fir flooring. This is, I've seen less and less of this. It is really nice. This is a good example of what's happening around town with these bidding wars and prices going up. This house has sat on the market for a couple of weeks now at $925, and I think somebody's gonna grab it in the next week at closer to $900 or maybe a little bit lower. The kitchen's not in bad shape. I mean, you'd probably want to renovate it, but it's been updated recently or within the last 20 or 30 years. So a lot of the electrical is probably updated, the plumbing's updated. We have one bedroom here. Looking out at the neighbors. It's a good view. Big closet. And bathroom here. This is a big bathroom. Goes way back here. There are stairs going upstairs. There's a landing living space. Oh, there's a lot of space up here. Another bedroom. Another bedroom. Huh, and a sauna even. It needs quite a bit of work, but I'd say it's worth it. It's pretty. I'm looking out, I can see mountains all the way there. Great view. I only have this one house plant because I can't really handle the responsibility of watering every day. But I love it, I've had it forever, and it needs a better spot than just kind of absently put on the countertop. So let's find something better. Before we do that though, I wanted to look at this sales price versus list price graph. And I'm gonna say that this is fantastic news and you're gonna guffaw at me. But we're seeing a first drop in about a year in sales price versus list price, and it's at 109%. Sure, but it is a drop. You can see this graph has just been terrifying to watch climb up and up and up and up and up over the past few months, and we haven't been under 100% since about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. But we are starting to see some good news. If you haven't discovered the Buy Nothing Facebook group, you definitely need to check it out. I found there this floating bookshelf bracket, along with some silly books that I found at Goodwill and one houseplant. That'll be good until the bathroom reno. Let's check in on the condo market while we're at it. Okay, here's another year's worth of data looking at supply versus demand, or active listings versus number of sales. So again, we're looking at this gap, and we started out about a year ago with this huge gap, but as opposed to the single family market, these were flipped. There were more listings than there were sales. So you could get a condo for a really good deal for the first half of this last year. The last 6 months, though, this gap has narrowed down, and we're starting to see a more balanced market. Hopefully this is what happens with single-family homes. The gap narrows down, and as it gets closer and closer, we get a more balanced market, more fair market. It isn't quite as crazy. So things are starting to normalize with the condo market, and that's really great news. It's coming. The market is starting to slow down. So if you're thinking about making a home in Seattle, send me a message. Bye.